a black Blue Yeti. Yeah.
Oh, so you got a spare?
Yeah. I thought it broke and I got another one, but like it wasn't broken. It was just me being stupid. Yeah, that's the thing that happened.
my
Well, that'll
last mic,
happen.
my last mic actually broke. Then again, it was like a $30 mic that I thought was like the best thing ever.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's time to get started.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush
Ooh,
my
yeah.
hair.
That was epic.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Super Sunday Wrap Up. We got everybody here this morning that could make it. You're going to have some notable absences if you have your fan favorite and they're not here. It's because they're running a little late or they're running busy. So some folks will be here, some folks won't be here, some folks will show up a little later in the afternoon. And if we forget about them and they don't show up, that's okay too. Uh, we all got lives. So things happen, things come up, things break, things don't break. Sometimes you just need a nap. Sometimes you need to take a minute to screw your Yeti onto the stand and plug it up. So we got some things going on. We got a lot of great things happening this past week. A lot of stuff happened late in the day. Some things happened early on in the week. For example,
Oh,
the
Ugh. I
Burger
read about
King's
Cheeseburger.
cheeseburger
I read
in
about that.
Thailand has 20 slices of American cheese on a bun with no meat. I don't know what they're charging for that, but whatever it is, it's too much.
that's a level of stupid that I can't like
It,
on
it,
that.
if it was American money, I would say anything more than $1 is way too much.
I think that companies have now figured out that uh, TikTokers are a great way to make money. And when you have something that is as ridiculous as 20 slices of cheese, that just screams, hey, 30-second video. So that's great advertising for Burger King. It gets people to do something stupid like the Grimace challenge,
Right.
and it just happens. That as dumb as it is and as horrible as it is as a product, they're gonna make a small spike of money just from the simple fact that it's so stupid.
Yeah, we can market to all these idiots that are gonna buy this shit, and no sane human being is ever gonna buy it.
Gray Poupe says, Poupette, Poupe. I'm not sure if the T is silent. What about up in Canada? Is it silent there? You guys deal with some French,
Yeah, it is a silent T, I think.
so it's Gray Poupe. I happen to see the weird ass sandwich in question. Who wants 20 pieces of cold cheese in a bun? Melt that shit. It's what cheese does best.
Melted or not,
Great
that's still too much cheese to be putting in your mouth. Just saying.
It
I
just
don't think
looks
20 pieces
disgusting.
of cheese would stay between the buns.
It's like
It
the
just kind of.
it just looks like the most unappetizing thing ever. It's just like whoever thought of that either needs a raise from all the sandwiches they're gonna sell, or a demotion just because of how stupid the idea is.
I think it's interesting that companies are finding different ways of making money and staying on top, regardless of how sane normal people are. Because there's probably more insane people now out and about and just hanging out than there used to be. You know,
Amen to that.
Yeah, we also have a way to share how many people are insane, and it feels like there's more.
We can
so
prove they exist. They are not a myth. They are living amongst us.
how you guys? How's your week been? Let's see. Let's go around. No, clockwise. This, yes. Chill. How was your week?
So far, so good. Making a lot of residual money off of some Jonathan Majors videos I made a long time ago. And I love YouTube.
They're coming back up and getting popular and getting more views, huh?
Out of nowhere. And so what?
And
Yes.
monetized.
Thank God for
And we'll be
monetization.
back. Nate.
I've been having a pretty uneventful week. Just been working, sleeping, trying to find time to make videos. And I bought my first major camera in my quest to become a director. So hopefully in the near future I will be filming a lot of stuff with that.
Are you writing your own stuff?
Yeah, maybe a short film or two. We'll see what happens.
Awesome. I see indie films in your future, writer, producer, actor, director guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull a Sam Raimi, just get a bunch of my buddies to star in it.
You know,
You
I
will
did
have
the
to.
exact same thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chill.
I agree with that because a bunch of your buddies are the only ones who are going to work for you. Too many kids now are stuck up, and they'll come out of film school and say, "Well, what's my pay going to be?" And you
Right.
stupid idiots, you're valueless. You should be doing this just for the experience and to have something to get your name out there. You're at that early part of your stage. But like some students, they think, we're worth something. You're not. You're really not at this level. You're not.
Well, I told my friend the other day, I got a big ass patch of woods out back behind my house. We'll go in there, spend a few hours in there, and shoot some Blair Witch shit or something. I don't know.
Blair Witch. Oh my God.
I don't
That
know.
sounds that's a whole lot of red flags coming from a white guy who lives in a basement.
It's a bedroom, Rosales.
I shot my first film on a consumer grade video camera. It was called Sherlock Hernandez, and I was the main actor. I wrote it and I directed it. I filmed it. I did the whole thing because all I was doing was getting background work. Anybody remember Prison Break, that TV show?
Yes. It
Yes.
rings a bell, but not totally.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you were a baby.
It's 2000s, right?
Yeah, early 2000s, and everybody. It was filming in my town, and everybody who was trying to be anything in film in Dallas was on the show, and so we were all extras in the background, and I was in the prison scenes, where you put your hands on your head and you're on your knees for a whole lot of the day, and I thought to myself, the only way I was going to get in front of the camera is if I made something myself and put myself out there, and I did that, and that's when I realized I wasn't an actor.
Right.
I'm a director. I'm a writer. But the only kind of person who can really be an actor is somebody who has absolute zero shame whatsoever. If you can, and that's it's not so much a lack of shame as it is bravery, is what it is. Like a wrestler who can come out in a diaper gimmick, that's a wrestler. Okay, anybody can come out there and pretend to be super strong and over and no sell things, but you come out with a diaper and a carpet cape around your neck and swinging a bottle, and being diaper man or whatever it is, you are a real wrestler. You are the bravest amongst all of them. Actors who can go out on TV and be a dollar sign during tax season, those are the real actors. That's bravery because you have no shame. You don't care what you look like. You're going to get out there and you're going to do the job and get the job done. And my admiration.
You are rotten. You stand for nothing.
Oh, Bray Wyatt. Love him.
Absolutely. Everybody who's in the Bray Wyatt crew, they're the real actors. The one who's playing the physical piggy. Absolutely. Yes.
Oh.
Good morning, Andrew. Good morning to you. I remember when the commercials vaguely, but I never watched the show. That's right. Andrew agrees again. And, well, you had a point with the shame. So, Warren, what's going on with your laundry?
Oh, it's my fan.
Well,
Fan.
well, he's pretty loud.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I need a new mic, so I'm gonna get one. I'm planning on it next week.
Well, I know somebody you should get in touch with. I know somebody who's got a spare Yeti.
Yeah, He's not using it at the moment.
Oh,
And I'm pretty sure he'll give you a pretty fair market value. So
I'd
he's
sell
not going away for free.
the shipping and handling wouldn't be worth it.
One of us. One of us.
I've just been doing more work for Mickey, so they've made us do different things, and I've just been relaxing for once. I've been just busy every week. I've been keeping up with Secret Invasion. I gotta watch the episode today because I just missed it this week because I've just been busy. But yeah, it's nothing much. It's finally gotten hot around here, and
good for you.
yeah, we hit 90 degrees this week in New York.
Damn.
And it's not. I was sweating so much that my
Well, we lost you for a second there. We lost you for a second, but that's okay.
but
You know, I'm interested in the work that's getting done during these strikes, and more strikes, because, and I don't want to give too much away. I know there's some things we got to keep under wraps with what it is that you do or don't do, or allowed to say that you do or don't
Right.
say.
All right.
So, so much for me being a super spy, huh? Speaking in code. But we got strikes going on, guys. Now more than ever. We've got double the strikes, and somebody decided they were going to speak out. Star Ron Perlman seems to threaten Hollywood execs in writer's strike battle.
Well, he was just in character.
He was. I took it as he was talking specifically about one, if you know what I mean. The one that's currently making $27 million a year.
Warren,
Well,
you know him.
The unnamed executive, where nobody's doxing anybody around here, is the one he was speaking to, because and to be fair, the words on the striking side have been very, very pointed about how much money is being made by the studios and what they're doing with that money, and how cavalier they are about other people's lives. It's just been very, very heated on both sides. So when somebody comes out and is put on record for saying something, it can be that little bit of ignition that is needed to go down a pathway that nobody wants to go. So he says, the article says, in a heated rant posted to social media Friday, actor Ron Perlman warned a Hollywood studio executive to be careful after claiming his studio plans on letting the current Hollywood writers' strike continue until union members start losing their houses. The 73-year-old actor warned the executive to be wary of losing his own home for playing with union members' families' livelihoods. Just skip down a little bit. A different studio executive also told Deadline the major studios like Paramount, Netflix, Disney, Warner Brothers Discovery are planning to break the WGA, which they noted should start to happen by the fall. Now, let me see if I actually got it here.
Now imagine if you're like Quibi or Apple or some of these unnamed studios, like, hey, what about us? We're trying to break you too. You forgot.
Yeah, we're also fighting the unions. Oh, look at that. Andrew has a Rode NT1. It has both an XLR and a USB port. You see that there? You'll have to maybe get in contact with him to get that better mic. So let's go down here. We've got some footage here of Ron Perlman doing his thing. Let's take a look at this.
Character.
The one thing before I get off this, the who said we're going to keep this thing going until people start losing their houses and their apartments. Listen to me, There's a lot of ways to lose your house. Some of it is financial. Some of it is karma. And some of it is just figuring out who the said that. And we know who said that. And where he lives.
So
Peace.
yeah, pretty pointed. Everybody does know everybody in Hollywood, and everybody knows who and where they are and what they are and what's going on. We've known that they've known these things for a long time, and so for him to say something like that pretty much sounds exactly like a threat against a specific individual living in Hollywood
Right.
or someplace nearby. And a lot of people took it that way. And oh, wait, well, a little too far. A lot of people took it that way, and so Ron Perlman had to do a little bit of a backstroke. And here's what he had to say after there was a kerfuffle, if you will, of
A
when he was-
riffraff.
Hey everybody, it's Ron again. With the announcement of the actors going out on strike this morning, I took to Instagram Live. At one point, admittedly, I got quite heated. So let me make something very clear right now. I don't wish anybody any harm. I hope the who made that comment also doesn't wish anybody any harm. But when you start going around and saying, we're not even gonna bargain with these heads until they start bleeding and their families start bleeding, it makes for some very strange bedfellows. And so we all must try to get along, and we all must try to understand you have your value in giving us the resources we need to make content, and we have our value as storytellers because of the effect that we have when we tell our stories beautifully and properly on the people that come to see them. But let's maintain a degree of humanity in all of this, okay? It can't all be about your Porsche.
A little bit better.
the sound of reason has come back to him, I think, for who he is, you know. Let's see, Andrew. If this stuff actually materializes, it'll be the wildest I've ever seen in Hollywood. And I think where he's going there is the fact that Hollywood goes on strike as actors join writers on picket lines, citing an existential threat. Now, one of the things that happened when they joined their own strike, see, back before Reagan was the president of the United States, Reagan was the president of the Actors Guild, the Screen Actors Guild. They went on strike many moon ago alongside the writers, and they got some changes made. And so right now what we're seeing is an excitement around the unionized that they can affect a positive change in Hollywood where you don't have these fat cats smoking cigars and drinking whiskey and making all the money and sitting there and making decisions about other people's lives, right? You don't like that sort of thing. But it's a different place than where Reagan had it, and this kind of lets you know how different it is. Hollywood actors went on strike Friday at midnight California time after negotiations between their union and motion picture studios collapsed. A serious blow for the entertainment industry that could cripple film and TV production across the U.S. About 65,000 actors represented by the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, had planned to walk off sets at midnight. SAG-AFTRA leaders announced Thursday afternoon. Actors deserve a contract that reflects the changes that have taken place in the industry. Unfortunately, the current model devalues our members and affects their ability to make ends meet. And one way they do that is by proposing that some actors, background actors in particular, be replaced with AI actors. They plan on, or it was in the negotiations, that they would like to, the studios, scan the actors full body in costume so that they can use them on multiple occasions, multiple areas, and move forward. As a director, Nate, you're going to want to keep this in mind. It's cheaper to hire an actor for one day, use the scan in dangerous situations like, say, your kaiju film, as an extra you can see and recognize. You saw him here, and now you see him again, and it's not a stunt double. It's the exact same person being eaten by Godzilla. So, you know, it from the movie making standpoint, it makes sense. But from an actor standpoint, being replaced by AI, well, that's just going to make Ron angry.
I will say this. AI me. Motherfuckers. Go ahead. I want you to do it. Come for me. AI my voice. AI my likeness. AI my face. Take every fucking performance I've ever given over the last 50 fucking years. AI all of it. I dare you. Because when you do, I will come for you in ways you can't imagine. I will fucking get Johnny Cochran to defend me. Johnny Cochran, who passed away in 2005, God rest his soul. I will AI the motherfucker to come get you all. And I will fucking own you. Go ahead, AI me. Take away what God gave me. Try it. Make my day. So that's, as you can see, one of the issues that kind of...
Cast this man.
What? Why did he sound like he was recording for another episode of 1,000 Ways to Die right there? Oh, God, he's a national treasure. I love him.
It's Kane.
He's going to do what he invites them to AI him. And then threatens that he's going to come after him with a dead lawyer who he himself will AI after his death to go after them. Wait, he said to defend me because Johnny Cochran is a defense lawyer, not a prosecutorial lawyer. And so, where's the crime? I'm not sure.
Hey, stop poking holes into that. That was an awesome promo from Ron Perlman. But was that part of his apology video? Because then it seems like he did a second live stream to clear things.
That was a third one. That
was the third
one.
Oh,
yes,
boy.
yes. Yeah, he's not sinking and he's definitely swimming or flailing.
I like that. I like who's doing it. It's the actors with nothing to lose. It's Sean Gunn, who the worst that could happen to Sean Gunn already happened to Sean Gunn. They got nothing to lose. I hear him. He's already old. He's made his money. He's comfortable. It's not the guys I don't see Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman on the set of Deadpool 3. Yo, we just went on strike, and you know what? It's worth it. I don't care about shooting this movie. I care more about the Actors Guild. They don't do that. The Actors Guild, the Writers Guild, everyone who's striking right now, I kind of support fully what they are fighting for. But I just have a memory, this thing in my brain that recalls things. And 15 years ago, they crumbled. So I don't believe that you're not going to crumble this time. Why do you think Bob Iger said that? Because you're going to crumble when your houses are on the line. Go get a job somewhere else. Expect this to be for the long haul. And you'll be happier. Losing money for 1 year of your life will pay out in the next eternity of your time doing the job. Don't settle. Yeah. It's a long-term plan.
Yeah.
Some people were complaining that Ron Perlman is sitting from high atop with and trying to be down here with the regulars and the lowlives who are the common workers. They claim that he has a net worth of $8 million.
Wow.
$8 million in Hollywood terms, that's rent.
What? The man's still got to work. I really don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
He's a person. He's a fucking human being. They talk about him like he's some otherworldly fucking thing that doesn't belong amongst us or something.
What do you mean by that?
What do I mean by that?
The $8 million.
$8 million is rent money in Hollywood. The costs are so expensive. It's so high. You can make $8 million a year and still live in a trailer park in Hollywood in California.
That's I can't believe that. That's an exaggeration. You're exaggerating, right?
No,
the rent.
No, I'm not.
Per month.
There's people that make $45 to $50,000 a year working at theme parks like Disneyland, who live in these trailer parks that are lined across the side of the road because they can't afford actual rent.
Yes,
Um,
but you said 8 million. That's what threw me off.
8 million, 8 million. Okay, when you're talking about Hollywood terms and living in the Hollywood Hills and being a Hollywood elite,
Uh-huh.
$8 million is rent money. That's what they're paying for
Oh,
rent.
because the gated communities are very
Yes,
expensive. I
Yeah.
think I got you.
yes.
So I guess leave your expensive home, Ron Perlman. Go find somewhere for a couple of months that are, gonna be cheap. Not cheap in terms of cheap in LA.
Someone needs to AI that movie as a short film. I think I did pretty good with it without it being AI. You know. Let's see. Nico says I'm guessing the writers have seen the in all probability bad streaming numbers because I'm hearing more talk about the front end, i.e., base pay and minimum weeks of work, etc., as and not as much about residuals. Well, that's probably true. Here's the thing, though, is that what crushed the initial strike in a few years back, the writer's strike, um, was non-scripted television. You got more talk shows. You had game shows. You had live events, and you got things like Survivor, reality shows
Deal or no
that
deal.
that popped in. Deal or no deal. Yes, exactly. Those are the things that the studios came up with to counter what's going on. And the reason right now, I think that the Bob Igers of the world and the other presidents of the studios and the execs are so high on standing their ground is because Netflix has shown them a way. Okay. What has Netflix been relying on as a cheap source of revenue? Korean made properties, foreign made properties, things like the Warrior Nun or
Squid Game.
the Squid Games and things like that. As fans of animation, we all know that during the 70s and 80s, there was a slew of brand new to us Americans and Canadians of animations that came from the land of the rising sun, redubbed, repurposed, repackaged, and reset for
The English
unbiased movie
speaking.
nerd audiences. So what we have now is the ability for them to go back a couple of years, grab some properties that people have been trying to sell from Taiwan and Korea and all of these places that they've been trying to sell to the United States audience that haven't had an opportunity. There's now a cornucopia of properties that can be redubbed or not even just with the just subtitles. Yes, and they think they've got them over a hurdle. See, right now is the time that the studios would be finalizing their uh, their their scripts for pilot season. Pilot season will shoot starting in January, and all of the pilots and Hollywood is a buzz in making all of these things that are gonna take over the summer and into the fall for their new fall seasons. So they think they've got the studios over a barrel because they follow this trend. But if they hold their own, nobody makes any pilots in the spring. No actors get their jobs. No writers get to writing. And the only people working are the AI people that are dubbing or scripting and the rescripting these new programs that we've never seen that are going to come out of these foreign countries like Netflix has shown us and be put on American television for the very first time.
I had a question.
Absolutely.
So what I was trying to say something, but I got cut off in the middle of it. So the actors, right? I saw on Twitter the actors said the writers make $70K. Some of them, the writers. That's hard to like. I'm trying to fathom how they're only making that amount when they're on these productions. I know they're not going to make as much money. Actually, it's two questions. I know they're not going to make as much money as an actor. So my first question is, how are they only making $70K a year? That's like
Because they hire 10 to 12. They don't hire just one.
okay. Well, that's so. And then why are the actors complaining? That's my second question. When they're making millions of money.
Because
not all the actors are making millions.
Yeah, because 90% of the actors make scale.
So then,
it's not the Tom Cruise, it's the John Willis who's just starting out that's been in like 12 movies that you've never heard of.
So then what I guess why I'm baffled is I'm trying to figure out where's
the money going?
Where's the money going, and what benefit is to be a starting actor then, or a starting writer?
You got to start somewhere.
Well, the point is that if you're an actor and you're making commercials and you're making, you're working in the background on some movies, or you've got a streaming show. The thing is that you don't stop there. Who is that? Liza something or other. She started off doing things online, and then she got
Liza Koshy.
Yes, Gesundheit. She moved on from where she was at. She started someplace, and then she went someplace else, and that's why what the hope and dream is of everybody who's a background actor. Not all of them are going to make it. Only a handful are going to nail the right producer. I mean, nail the right audition, and make it further on the line. Then,
no, you were right the first time. I don't know why you corrected yourself.
To draw attention to it because nobody caught it. I don't always have you here, Jaded, to call me out when I make those slide comments there.
I caught it.
The streaming service that can get voice dubbing right will win the game. Dubs suck now. Have they not figured that out yet? No, they're always going to the lowest bidder.
Yeah, it's also the fact that when it comes to anime, because I'm assuming that's probably what you're talking about, the reason the dubbing is so choppy is because the people in charge are going, okay, that's not going to work. In their mind, they're going, yeah, that dialogue isn't going to work for an American audience, so we have to change it and alter it for an American audience, not realizing that makes no sense and it doesn't work for people who are anime fans.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments in some animes where a 20-something-year-old character and an 11-year-old character will have a talk about a romance that may or may not happen down the line, and that makes producers of American content very, very uncomfortable. So they'll change the dialogue, or they'll turn one of Sailor Moon's roommates into a cousin to explain their PDA because they're related. So it's
why like when Sailor Moon says her age, that always gets bleeped out or it's changed for some reason. I don't know why.
So is it the worst? So is this the worst you've ever seen this type of strike, man? Because I mean, I've never experienced I mean, I've heard of a writer's strike, but then like 3 weeks later it is resolved. Like, have you seen something at this level where you got Ron Perlman basically kind of being like a Hollywood terrorist right now?
Hollywood terrorist.
Because the last time they didn't have the internet to be able to express themselves as much. They would have to get interviews, and you'd have to have seen the stuff. Whereas now, Ron Perlman can make a video and probably got 5 million views probably by now. Back then, 15 years ago, 30 years ago, that option wasn't available.
Oh, I know that. I'm saying, have you seen the strike at this level yet? Like,
always
Yeah, but yeah. When Reagan was the president of the Motion Picture Association, the two came together, and they struck. But they didn't. It wasn't in this particular climate either. The availability of programming to what's the word I'm looking for? Not substitute what they have right now is
Distract.
no. I mean, they can replace everything right now. They can replace an entire network lineup of shows if no more shows. If everything got cut off right now, if Brooklyn Nine-Nine never made another episode, if everything got canceled due to the writer's strike, all that stuff can be replaced in a heartbeat uh, with foreign content, affordable foreign content that is new to American eyes, that has never been seen except for in a couple of conventions and basements of people. So they didn't have that back in the '60s and '70s when they both struck together. And you know, truth be told, I think they can only get a year out of it before we start asking, how long are these novellas going to go? They seem to go on forever. you know, Yeah, but the normal way that they would do things is they would see that content and they would go, "Yes, this is great. This is fantastic. We love it. Let's remake it with American actors so we can actually make money." Now they're seeing it as like, "Yes, this is great. This is affordable. We can actually make money by just taking this straight as it is and subtitle it." You know, so they won't make as much money as if Brad Pitt was in it, but they'll still make enough money to not pay Brad Pitt.
So, will this entice um other like low end people that like, hey, I'm a writer, I still need to get money from the foreign countries, and like, hey, here's my stuff. Like, we'll I mean, because there's not everybody's gonna go on strike. Because some people are like, hey, I have kids, I have a family, I have so and so, or I have my own business on the side. Maybe act um are those people gonna step in, or it's just like since they're under the union? Like I'm really trying to know more about
Well,
this.
the thing is that there's going to be people that are hurt, and Ron Perlman's right about that. The ones that the background actors, the mid-level actors, they're not going to continue to work. But your Brad Pitts, your Ron Perlmans, they're going to get calls from China, who's still producing movies. They're going to get calls from Japan, and they're going to pay them the money to put them back on the screen because people are going to go, "Whoa, we haven't seen them in a while. Let's go watch their movie." And then you'll get more foreign productions with Hollywood actors, the elite that they can afford to pay for, and bring them along. So some of them are going to continue to work. Others are not. They're going to start flipping burgers and cleaning houses and things like that.
I mean, that would be interesting. I remember there's this one film that came out in like 2007, or actually maybe like more recently or so, but it was like, I believe, some like Japanese or Korean like Django Unchained type version of it, and then like halfway through the film, Quentin Tarantino showed up randomly.
Worst comes to worst, they could all work for A24. They'll take anybody, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, and they'll make amazing films. Thanks, Jaded.
Yeah, but they won't make any money. That's the thing.
Sean, I'm really looking forward to talk to me, by the way.
If I'm a writer,
Oh yeah,
I'm going to take this time to write. I don't care what my job is. There are plenty of jobs in the world where you don't have to be, using your hands and sort of active. There's a lot of places that you can do with downtime. Write something and then write your next script and then write your next script. You don't have to present them the day that the strike is over because, everyone else is going to do that, right? So sit on these scripts, and then one day, a year later, when the strike is over and it's like time to pitch for the next fall season, you go, "Here, I just made this. I just created it." Writing has no expiration. You're going to be on strike.
Yeah, it does, because what would work today probably won't work in a couple of years from now. You have to go with the trend. Like
Sure, you're right. Then. You're right. There is expiration. 10 years later, 10 years is too long. The strike isn't lasting 10 years.
Well, no, but I'm saying even yes, but I'm saying
Even 2 years.
but I'm saying let's say every writer does that. Well, when the time comes, you're now going to have 10 times as many scripts to choose from.
Yes.
And
That
so,
but if every writer does that, they'd be stupid. And I'm talking to the smart ones who shouldn't just present their script the very next available fall after the strike. You wait a year and you mix, yeah.
again, the studios still have they can still go, yes, but we'll only hire you for 50,000 instead of 70,000, or we'll only give you 2% 2% residuals as opposed to 5% residuals. And if that's the case, then the strike is irrelevant in the first place, other than to avoid the AI use.
Now,
But
AI
the
is
again,
a
thing is that
non-negotiable.
there's still stuff, there's still business being done. So
yeah,
if you were a smart writer and you've got scripts sitting down, those deals are still being made. People are
yeah,
still, companies are still optioning, if you will. That's what it's called, optioning a script, and they'll pay you money to take that off the table, and try to figure out the best way to market that and get it made. And then they'll have to, after a certain number of years, or months, depending on how it's negotiated, re-up that option. So, potentially a script that doesn't get made will earn a pretty decent living for a writer who wrote it, um, over and over and over again as it continues to not be made and the
Wow.
option continues to go out.
Right.
But that does not help the background actors who will work for a day, and it says they'll work for a day, and then they'll get their body scanned, and then they'll move on, and then they'll be able to use those actors over and over again.
The,
The question is, why do the studios want to do that? Why do the studios want to create background actors that they can they can use over and over again in perpetuity?
In
perpetual.
Money.
perpetuity
There we go. Thank
to
you.
save money. And if you are the guild, that's a non-negotiable. There should be no background statement. Now, if you want to scan Mark Hamill because we need to do Luke Skywalker in the future, that's very understandable and give him millions and billions. But
Well,
just
the reason they negotiated is because they want to use the recognizable. How many times have you seen somebody in a commercial, and then you see him in the background of a movie, and you're like, I know that guy, I know this girl, I know that lady, whoever this is. The the more recognizable people you can have in your film, the better it is for your film. Even if you don't know their names before they become famous, you recognize who they are. Now, there are sites like this that they use
oh, okay. Let me cut in.
where
Let me cut in. Sorry, Rosales.
absolutely.
But
Please go
like
ahead.
before, who's really famous right now? Who's really famous? John Boyega. This guy may have taken some photos and done some work in other places, and a studio, when he was a nobody, has his likeness. All right, now it's time for them to sell a potato chip. Well, we can have John Boyega in our potato chip because a commercial, because he was a nobody when he agreed to this. Now that he's a somebody, yo, you guys want John Boyega? Here he is, Lay's classics. He's in the background smiling with his group of friends because that's what he gave to us when he was a schmuck. Yeah,
Mhm.
it shouldn't. Even the celebrity our actors should be against that.
And they are. But the thing is that once they have that, they can resell it. This company produces all of these 3D things that the studios are using now. They produce they have all of the actions, all of the motions, and all of the characters. Now those are 3D characters that will look fine in the background, blurred through depth of field. You're not going to notice that they're fake or that they're
Right.
scans, but you may recognize, like, oh, hey, I remember that guy from didn't he wasn't he in the show in Gotham? Wasn't he like the police commissioner or whatever? You know what I'm saying? They'll have them at that right age to put them in the background so that people will recognize them over and over and over again. Even if if they wanted to, they could use a little Jake Lloyd right now because they scanned him in and they used his 3D stuff, and they could put him as a little boy sitting at a table in a restaurant of a Five Nights at Freddy's remake. But the most important part is that they get to resell these things and reuse them. Sony Pictures, Paramount Pictures, Universal Pictures all have stock footage sites where they use and they resell these things to other people, other filmmakers like Nate, who are coming up and they need that car explosion. They need the sky footage of downtown New York when you could fly a helicopter through New York. You can't do that anymore without a special license, and it's cheaper to sell them stock footage. Now, it's better for the studio for them to stop buying this stuff, but to build their own library, content library, and sell it to the up and comers. And
Yeah.
that is probably what they're looking at right now, and why they had to negotiate with it. They're gonna do it anyway. They're gonna hire the scabs and get the background actors, but they wanted to use the ones they want to use the ones that are more recognizable. That could be somebody later on in life.
Oh, this affects voice actors too. I'm not trying to be funny. Does this affect them too?
I have no idea. I didn't read that far into to the thing.
Okay, I was just curious.
If they're part of the union, or do they have a separate union? I don't know.
I mean, since it's I mean, I know it's animation, but they're using their voice, which is their likeness. So that's why I was curious.
Hollywood law is a little bit different than the rest of the world. You can't just do a celebrity voice, through an impersonation. Like, for example, I couldn't just do this Alex radio guy and pretend to be him on the radio, and then he could come after me and say I was endangering his life by saying things like alien reptiles are running the United States. There's laws against that, and so
quit turning the frogs gay.
Whenever you hear them on the radio, you hear that little blurb, celebrity impersonator. Because that's their likeness, and so I think for right now, voice actors are safe.
For now. For now.
And at the same time, it's basically just background actors. You can't have the main actor of a movie being AI'd, because you're not going to be able to get the acting skills through an AI. You're just basically talking about people, walking, just walking across the back of the screen, or just sitting there, doing something, not actually saying anything or doing anything that would actually require an actor's skill.
Yeah.
Cole, you got any comments?
Not really, but it is interesting to see what they will do, I guess, with releasing more foreign films now, possibly, as they should. There is this one film that kind of like reminds me of it. It was like from, I believe, like Indonesia. I'm trying to like remember the name of it, but it kind of like sums up the ones that are not as known there, that they could really push out, that a lot of people would love. No, it's
okay.
I think it's called Bad Genius from like 2017.
Bad Genius.
Yeah, I don't know if any of you heard of it, but I would recommend it. There's, I forgot where it's like made in, I think like Indonesia or something, but with films from those countries, there's going to be some things like cheesy sound effects and aspects like that technically, but if you can get by that, then I think the story and everything is kind of genius. It's sort of like these kids trying to like
don't spoil it.
Okay, well, I won't. I mean, I was just the premise, but I won't spoil it then. Okay.
All right. Welcome, Miss 1776.
Good morning.
Hello.
Did you get enough sleep?
Hey, Nate. How you doing? No, I'm hungover.
I'm okay. Hungover? Oh, no.
Why do you think I skipped MSK channel last night?
Because you didn't want to be there?
Well, yeah, but I'd rather be drinking. Now I'm kind of cynical,
Well, the best way to fix being hungover is to start drinking again.
That is
Oh
true.
God.
If you stay drunk, you're never hungover. That's all.
That's true. What did it say? Chase the hair of the dog.
Sure. Big bowl of menudo will fix that.
Yeah. I mean, you can just switch drugs, you know.
Switch drugs.
Yeah. You know, like if you are hungover from like cocaine, then you can just switch to heroin.
I was gonna say shrooms. Wasn't that the big one that they were all talking about shrooms the other day?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
No heroin. Heroin's bad. Don't do heroin. Don't listen to him.
Or cocaine.
Just
No
say no to
cocaine.
drugs.
Well, now you guys just doing all my fun. Good morning, Michael.
I can't just see her going, ah! That's the stuff.
You know, that's what the hat is for, as you can see.
Yeah.
Covers up the little powder lines there.
It's to cover the nosebleed.
Definitely
sugar there.
Going down the slopes.
Oh, the hat. I get it now. Sorry, a little slow this morning.
It's because you're hungover. That's why.
Yeah.
Takes a few seconds there.
Yeah, sure. That's the reason.
That's it. Speaking of all things that are possible, who got to see Mission Impossible this week? Nate?
Yep.
Yeah. Me.
Nobody else? Oh.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You saw it.
Yeah. You know, I'm not surprised that it's underperforming right now. We'll see if it makes a comeback. But you know, not to say it wasn't good. I just to be fair, I don't know. I'm sorry if I interrupted you. Go ahead.
That's fine. I was just going to add on to your point by saying, you know, the way things are right now currently, I mean, I'm not really surprised it's underperforming either, but I didn't hate it. I think it's a damn good movie.
Yeah, agreed. Because of that, I'm not surprised. And the movie itself, yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, I think I did a review of it with Max Zed, yeah, his channel name, yesterday. I believe he's been on here before, but yeah, I did have a lot of gripes with it. You know, some things mainly like the dialogue, I thought just like felt very unnatural. A lot of things, but and kind of like try hard, and I've never really been like the biggest fan of the franchise. Always thought it just wasn't like didn't live up to the hype, and you know was always
generic, generic spy BS for you.
Just good, just never like amazing or that great to me, but it was still good. But you know, definitely has its gripes. But either way, I'm not surprised that this is you know, not doing well right now. Yeah, we'll see if it, you know, changes with like word of mouth, maybe.
Yeah, well, for me, it's kind of.
How did people tell you two apart when you were on Max's show? Because you guys sound exactly alike.
Wait, me and Max, or
yeah, you and Max sound just alike.
Oh, I didn't realize that, but I mean, we just talk one at a time, I guess. So.
Because that's Cole's bad Cole, and then Max is good Cole.
Yeah, and I guess it also helps that, you know, sometimes you can, you know, hear my fan in the background because I have to have like 8 on because it's so hot here. And then also, you know, one of them does an OJ impression.
Out of your eyes?
Darkness rises and light to meet it.
Yeah.
Like AEW, we're having storm issues, I guess. You know, people are dropping in and out of the stream left and right. So, but let's see. There we go. Oh, I don't like that one. I don't like that at all. It's too tight.
Wow.
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 seeing 78 million in the 5 days, 240 worldwide. Why the sequel is better in position than Indy in the box office. It's still doing better than Indiana Jones.
It's because it's a better movie.
Yeah. Because everybody knew how bad Indiana Jones would be. Like, the trailers looked horrible for it, and everybody knew it. Like, the nostalgia, they didn't buy into it. Because after, I think, Jurassic World Dominion made $1 billion, I think that was, like, the final, you know, straw for everybody. That stuff.
Well, you can only continue to preach about the same exact bullshit over and over while continuously destroying your favorite childhood characters.
Yeah, but you know, listen. I think Kathleen Kennedy deserves another like 20 chances. I'm sure she'll get it right eventually.
Go away, Cole. Be gone.
I love the lack of memory of so many people. Okay, after Crystal Skull, when it was announced that there was going to be another Indiana Jones movie, the majority of people were going, "Why? Why? We don't care anymore. You already destroyed it. Whereas with the last Mission Impossible movie, it did really well, so people were anticipating it.
Let me just say, the fact that Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken was the highlight of my weekend when I saw Dial of Destiny, that's pretty
I don't think
telltale.
that has anything to do with the
What
weekend.
was your highlight in Crystal Skull? Shia LaBeouf's character?
Sort of. No. But I mean, I think with this Mission Impossible, again, usually with these franchises, if they wait long enough, then even though the last one was kind of bad as well, people are kind of into the nostalgia and the hype again. But and yeah, they did know, obviously they didn't really want it. They had the worries this whole time, but they still were kind of excited there, to see how it would, how it would be. And they had low expectations for it. And somehow this blew all of it out of the water. It was like 1,000 times worse than anyone even expected. And they thought it would not be good going into it. So that's impressive, Jaded, by them.
You're talking about people with no expectations going, oh my God, this actually met our no expectations. I don't.
No, it exceeded them, but even more, like 1,000 times more. That's and with audiences that usually turn their brain off and enjoy a lot of bad films, God, what was that one?
The Whale.
The Whale was good. Stop
the Whale,
it.
The Lighthouse, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Jesus
Wait, so
Christ!
Cole, the Lighthouse is good, right? Or not Lighthouse. Sorry,
yes,
I
it is.
That one. I meant the Whale. The Whale.
Yes. Okay. The Whale. Yes. No, it's good. People. Okay, they just saw it as this Oscar bait, manipulative film just because of the garbage advertisement they made for it, and because it fits. No, Jaded, stop it.
So Jaded is just being jaded on the Whale. The Whale actually is good.
Yes, and they just.
He's being jaded and grumpy.
It's so many times to so many people to try to justify that movie. He could say it in his sleep.
No, I can justify it otherwise, but this is
Nate,
just
have
the
you
simplest
seen The Whale?
way.
Nate, have you seen The Whale?
Yeah, come on. It's I think it might be muted. Oh, okay. Come on. People just saw it and on the surface.
Have you seen it?
The surface.
There's a bunch of noise going on.
Oh, okay.
In the rest of the house, so I had myself muted. But no, it was one of the movies I did not get a chance to see last year.
Bummer.
And usually
did you see it?
Isn't able to. Oh, okay, muted.
Muted. Everybody's muted today.
Anybody who's not muted and not Cole or Jaded, did they get a chance to see The Whale?
Yeah, hi, I'm Max Zed. I got to see The Whale.
Why would I want to see a fat guy fall down?
Here's a better question. Here's a better question. Who went to go see The Whale on purpose?
I probably would have if it was playing at my theater.
I haven't been to Walmart
Jesus
in years.
Christ. How many times y'all have to mow?
Yeah, listen,
How many
all
times
right.
y'all have to vacuum that
All right,
living
people
room?
just looked at The Whale, and the advertisement trailers and everything were garbage, so that didn't help either. But people
that is a hot take.
Yeah, people just saw it on the surface, and also just saw the sappy story of Brendan Fraser in real life, and then just thought it automatically before even seeing it. That would be like some Oscar bait, unnatural, just shitty film. All right, and they thought that in their minds going into it, and then everybody on Twitter just memed it and out of context clips out. Of course, they're gonna look silly out of context, but no, the film itself is good. Darren Aronofsky.
Overrated.
That is no.
You watched it
Speaking
tonight.
of overrated,
you watched it
Deadpool
tonight.
gives us comic accurate Wolverine, and K-Dot still wants arms.
What? Didn't Hugh Jackman have a skin condition? So he's got to wear that to cover himself up from the sun?
I think so, yeah.
I think he had skin cancer.
Oh, probably because he's wasn't he? Oh God, I can't remember. What is he from? He's from somewhere. Australia? Is that?
He's from Australia. Like
Okay,
all the
yeah,
great
that's probably
American
why.
actors.
From the land down under.
So here we
There's
see
a joke that goes with that, but I can't repeat it on Rosales' channel.
Absolutely. Go ahead. We had Ron
No.
Perlman on earlier.
The Hollywood terrorist.
Yeah. So here's a comparison of Hugh Jackman in the film version and the comic book version of Wolverine. He still doesn't have the mask on, but that's okay. He gets to ham it up as Hugh Jackman. So
Yeah.
and here's I did this for K Dot because he wanted to see his meaty arms. So I threw
Oh,
some
better.
meaty
I mean, I'm
arms
sure that could be
on
CGI.
Wolverine.
Who made
Yeah, I
that?
CG'd that myself.
Nice.
Wow.
You know.
Damn.
Wow.
Good job.
Damn. So the
Well,
one
you
on the
know,
right is the real one. Damn.
But
yeah,
I've
it
been
took me all of 5 minutes, and it shows.
I've been it's looking like Deadpool from what I'm reading is like the next sort of like with all the cameos and everything. I'm sorry, it sounds like Deadpool's on it's going to be like Infinity War level because with everything they keep mentioning and how they're like when I mean Infinity War level, like the amount of cameos and things that they're mentioning for this movie and like how the implications of other movies prior as well. It seems, and we don't even really know the plot as well. It's been
Well,
at
that's the
all.
thing, Warren. Again, I'm not saying it's confirmed, but a lot of people behind the scenes said they basically kind of did it without much of a script, and that it didn't go too well, and they finished up filming pretty quickly. So that's the concern in part.
Isn't Ben Affleck going to reprise his role as Daredevil? Wasn't there like a rumor that he was going to?
Yes, and
Okay.
Jennifer Garner as Electro.
What are you laughing at, Jaded? What's so funny about that? What? Oh, the idea.
Yes, and they're
Well,
gonna.
I'm happy he
bring
finally gets
back.
his chance to have a second.
There's going to be so many people going, why is Batfleck playing Daredevil?
Well, that's because they
Oh.
don't know classic. That's their problem.
Yeah, no one's gonna say that because they all forgot about that already in their memories, right?
I didn't forget about
I'm
it.
just saying that there's so many people who only know Ben Affleck as Batman. They don't know that he ever played Daredevil.
Well, you
There's
know,
a bunch
I
of
only
33-year-old women that know that. Okay,
I
so that's
see.
all that
Okay.
matters.
Well, you know what? I mainly only know him from Gone Girl because he basically played himself in that film. So
Oh, they are not showing up in that movie.
Is that Ezra Miller's little brother?
oh yeah, no, they'll definitely show up in this film now.
I hope not.
Well, anyway, jokes are being made online about the whole Deadpool thing, and the idea is that, at least on the Twitterverse, is that Deadpool is going to kill the Fox 20th Century Fox cinematic universe as far as it's concerned with Marvel, which is why you're going to see all of these cameos. Now, if they're anything like the end of the other Deadpool movies, then we'll get this whole film of Deadpool and Wolverine just killing all of these characters throughout the film to cleanse it and of any of their versions of the characters. So
That's just fanfic. It's just fanfic. That's just wishful thinking.
It's all been fanfic, including the Indiana Jones and everything else. So
Yeah, I mean, sadly they can't do that with Michael Clark Duncan. It's already happened.
Okay. So, any final thoughts on Deadpool's costume or
the costume? No, but the fact that you could just get a non-union actor to fill in and shoot those scenes, and then wait until the strike to be over to call Ryan Reynolds and say, "Hey, record your lines," is not going past me. I know that that's the way around this movie, and it'll be on time.
Wait, so they're getting someone else to play Ryan Reynolds, like a stunt double.
Yes.
But then Ryan Reynolds is going to record his voice over it?
Yeah, because Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool wears a mask.
so that's not Ryan Reynolds right there. That's probably a stunt man right there.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, they're putting the mask on him, and they're going to be using a stunt man at least in this scene because he's going up on wires. But what is it? The Mandalorian what's his name, Pedro Pascal or whatever his name is.
Exactly.
He's just going to be doing voice work essentially from this point on. So he doesn't have to come in and put the costume on because of that very same fact. Now they'll be using a stunt man for all of the stunts, but everything else is just essentially a mocap actor,
Right.
a day worker who's going to come in and do the stuff. Now that might be Reynolds right there. Then again, it might not be. I have no idea, but I do know that that belt on Wolverine is really attached to his vest, and that for some reason bothers me. It's not holding up his pants. It's not a unitard. It is just the bottom of his vest. And I don't know if those sleeves will ever come off or not. But look,
How
there's
can you
two
tell?
Wolverines in this scene. Look at that. There's two Wolverines.
the
Which one's the day worker? Is it the one
The one
covered
that's
with the
not
umbrella?
under the umbrella.
No, the one on the right, I think.
So anyway, this comes exclusively from the Daily Mail, exclusively to the Daily Mail, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah.
they're
mean-
still they're done working, I think, by now. I think that's the reason. Look, you can really tell that's not a belt.
Well, it's
That
like
pisses me
Sean
off
said.
either
I
way.
mean, it's only been in production for what, a few months?
Yeah, and if
But how
they
can you
really
tell it's not a
ad-libbed
belt?
everything-
I keep looking and it doesn't look like it's not a belt to me.
Look, it
Watch
moves
when he moves.
with the chest. It moves with his chest, not his pants. See?
See
Okay,
how it's
okay.
really part of his vest? Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can see.
Oh, there he
That's a
threw
good
it on.
eye. Good eye, Rosales.
So, yeah, it's just the one.
Oh man, now I can't unsee it.
Would it be funny if they actually made a joke about it in the movie? I mean, you already know they're going to be making fun of his suit the entire damn movie.
Why? 90% of the audience doesn't even know what his original costume looks like anyway.
Oh, that arm is just for VFX. He's supposed to be tossing Reynolds. Did you see that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why he was. That's why he was
I will
shadow.
say this. AI me.
Sorry about that.
Ron Perlman was not done speaking.
That's right, Jaded
Oh, yes.
fanboy. 90% of the audience don't even know what he really is supposed to look like.
They
Wolverine.
don't.
Hang on.
That's
There we
that's
go.
the Wolverine right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
That's his. What is it? 181. Yeah, that's his.
You know the one.
Gosh darn it. Now I gotta CG some trunks on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks better than the Flash.
That's his second. You're showing us Wolverine's second appearance, not his first appearance.
Be right back.
Be right back. Oh, shit.
So Secret Invasion stopped killing women. That's a good thing.
No,
What?
it's not a good thing.
There's Wolverine's first appearance. 180. Thank you.
I don't even that was the best part of the show, Rosales. What are you talking about?
Well, now that part is done with. They stopped killing women this week.
That's too
and,
bad.
Started killing men. So
I'm confused. What's going on?
that's the Secret Invasion update for this week.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, you'd think anybody's here actually saw it.
I watched all the episodes of Secret Invasion. Maria Hill's death was a surprise. Gia's death was not a surprise. Gaia, I mean, her name was. That was like, okay, she's dying, she's coming back. We know what's going on. She became a Super Skrull, and the MCU has a different version of what a Super Skrull is.
Wait a
That's
minute.
interesting.
No, it's not. It's not really a different version, Chillmonger, because you have to remember, in Secret Invasion, they did have powers. Just because it's not Super Skrull, they had Super
Thank you.
Skrulls. It wasn't the Super Skrull. If you remember Secret Invasion.
All right. Different ways to get the Super Skrull abilities, though.
Yes, of course.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
There's a Super Skrull in the Secret Invasion show now.
They are taking
So-
enhancements from Call Obsidian from the Thanos' forces.
Okay.
As Extremis from the Iron Man 3 movie.
Groot.
What else was there? There were a couple other Groot, I think. His
The
powers.
Frost Giant. the Frost
Yeah.
Giants. Yeah.
See, so they're going Super Scroll. They got to work with what you got.
But Jaden, why are you like? Oh, they did the same thing during the comic. They used powers from. They didn't only use Super Scroll. They used powers.
Are they calling that character a Super Scroll though?
No.
No one used that word yet.
That's what I was saying. I'm going. That's supposed to be the official Super Scroll. That's why I'm.
No, they're calling them Super Scrolls, but they're not the Super Scroll. Let me clarify.
Oh, okay. They're Super Scrolls, but they're not the Super Scroll.
Correct.
Oh, okay, then that's fine. Yeah, they can. Yeah, because even before Secret Invasion, Skrulls were able to be trapped in whatever things that they had, because there were certain Skrulls that had enhancements to replicate superhero powers and stuff. So that's fine. That's
Jaded approves. Check it out.
Flip it, Rosales. He approves. There's no argument this week.
He said that's fine.
He's not the Super Skrull.
He's not opposed to it.
Plays out is totally different.
Well, this actually we had more. We did more time on Super Skrulls than I expected, which is kind of fun. But I was planning on talking about Kamala Khan, actress writing her own comics. What is her name? Iman
Vellani.
Iman Vellani. Yes. Hang on. I hate when that does that. There we go. The heart of the Marvel Universe will be reborn in Miss Marvel, the new mutant comic book series. The new comic book series co-written by Iman Vellani and Sabir Perzada, I think. I'm not sure. I'm going to murder a bunch of these. Also debut a new Miss Marvel costume design created by Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel character designer Jamie
But you pronounce everything wrong except Jamie when it came to names.
Yeah, that one's been stuck in my head since the 80s. Sorry. She scarred me. Ugh. So, anyway. She says, this was way scarier than joining the MCU for me. Those projects feel like they live in their own dimension, so I guess I can separate myself easier, but you can hold a comic book. I've never written anything before in my entire life.
Not surprised.
I've read
many comics. What can go wrong?
But I've read many comics, so I just wrote what I would want to read. I was given very professional tool to write what is essentially my own fan fiction.
What professional tool? A pen? What?
Yeah. This sums up the comic book industry, right now.
Professional tool.
It sums up all of entertainment at this point.
Yeah.
It was.
This is hilarious.
Humbling experience. Wait a minute. Wait. I am doing this all wrong. Hang on, just one moment. Hang on.
Epic voice.
I apologize.
It was actually a very humbling experience to work with. Oh, that's the wrong one. The wrong one.
That's the wrong one. Hold on. Since it's the man.
It was actually a very humbling experience to work with Iman, because she knows her comics even better than I do, and that is saying something. She was throwing out references to specific comics that came out before either of us were born. She has a very great eye for what makes a good sequence on the page as drawn by an artist. It was very impressive to me to see her throw out all these references to different artists that she's been following through the years.
I don't know why I got silted like that, but yeah, the point is, I think, and I'm happy for her and Marvel for doing the things that they are doing. They're letting her be. Apparently, she's knowledgeable about comics. I would trust Chill to write a comic book because he's a comic book fan and he knows the history and he knows the lore. Unlike most of the writers currently that don't know the lore, they don't know the history, they don't know the characters, they don't know the personalities.
Or the fact that, someone like Chillmonger has the passion to do it.
Yeah,
Not, here, Here, Chill, you want to do a comic book? Sure, why not? Give me a pen so I know how to actually, write this.
Well, to be okay, and this is not to take the remember, like, now people's careers are like, hey, if they come up to you and you have no knowledge of comics, I'm not advocating it. They're just taking it because it's like, okay, I get to work on the next, I don't know, Fantastic Four movie, even though you know this writer has no knowledge. They're like, guess what? I get my name under this comic book DC movie or this comic book Marvel movie, and now whether it's good or bad, they know that I made it. Like that's kind of the way it is now. Like I mean, I'm not agreeing with it. I agree that we should have passionate people that like these products to do them, but that's just the realm we're in right now.
Well, but it used to be like if your name was tied to something bad that you would like not get hired. People wouldn't want. That's what's weird. It's like why are people who are horrible still being like hired to do?
Yeah, well, those days are done.
That's because they're willing to work for the pay rates that they're offering, so they don't care.
If they cost them more money though, so then really, what is it? Spend a pound, save a penny.
Well, no, because it's again, if you have a comic like Batman that can have like 200,000 or 500,000 copies per issue, that's one thing. You're going, oh, I'm investing too much. But if you have a comic that's only got a 5,000 print run, you're not losing that much money. And I don't think Kamala, this actress's comic is going to be getting 100,000, 100,000 print run. She might be getting a 20,000 print run, so they're not going to be losing that much money. Not every comic is 100,000 per issue.
No, but and also not every decision is made for profit's sake. I think this is a fishing expedition. They took Kamala Khan, the character, out of the comics, put her on the screen. That job has been done. Now let's see if the person that they put in as the character can bring those audiences back. Recycle and
he's stuck in time, guys. It's a blip.
No, he's back. I hear him. Keep going.
Okay,
there he is. There he is.
It's their way of trying to do the anime thing of recycling the audience back to the comic books, so that the comic books can sell the shows can sell the comic books. We bring the actress in to do the comic book and see what she can bring to the table and bring that audience back and start doing what they do.
Yeah, but you have
to figure it out.
But you have to have a big enough audience to make it worth their while. I don't think her show actually had a big enough audience for that to even matter.
Yes, it did. But just because it was small compared to Mandalorian doesn't mean it wasn't thousands of people tuning in.
And
I thought the show was
maybe
good.
It was the right demographic that they're looking for, because everybody's trying to search for a younger audience. No, if they're getting a younger audience, if they're looking for children to build on top of, like we were when we fell into the whole Star Wars thing, they're choosing a younger character, they're choosing a younger actress, they're choosing all of these things that are younger based to bring them and grow them as fans, because once they become Snyderverse styled fan zealots, they will never go away.
What's crazy? It's all the little kids shows, like the little Spidey and Friends, and like they have one where it's like all the little Spider-Man friends, and then they have one where it's like Spider-Man teaching lessons, or one of the heroes teaching a lesson and talking about another story. I'm like, those actually are pretty good quality, because that's what like the kids are watching. So I guess like I'm sorry you guys, like there's no quality, it seems like, for like the adults here, but like for the kids, they are actually investing in them, and there's like not the creepy stuff either. So it's like I'm sitting there, because I screen everything. So it's like, wow, that's because you mentioned Kamala Harris, and she actually is a pretty big character in a lot of those little cartoon shows. So
you mistakenly said Kamala Harris.
He said Kamala Harris.
Yeah, that's a different fictional character. That's what that is.
Kamala Khan, sorry, my bad.
So they'll do anything but hire Dan Slott and artist Pepe Larraz to do a
Oh,
Kamala
yeah,
Khan.
don't hire Dan Slott. Don't hire Dan Slott.
No, I'm just naming a top writer and a top artist. Whoever your favorite is, J. Michael Straczynski. He's coming back to do Captain America. He is not doing Ms. Marvel Kamala Khan. They will do anything but what comic fans would actually gravitate towards, which is best writer you have, best artist you have available, write the character. So they're doing an out of the box tactic. I still think that it will generate sales. I think that depending on how she markets it and how much media she'll do, it could result in reviving this character from the doldrums of only selling $10,000 units of comics a month. If all you got to do is do a little press and your regular sales go from 10,000 to, I don't know, 50,000, now you're making Avengers, Daredevil, who else is hot? Like Wolverine and Fantastic Four. Now you're selling that amount of comics just because the actress is a face who can sell the brand, which hasn't happened even for like the best superheroes. When was the last time you saw a comic book for Spider-Man being advertised anywhere? Went to a movie, a commercial, a magazine. They don't do that. So if you can advertise Ms. Marvel, even if it was a low-rated TV show, that's still thousands of people who, since last year, have watched the show, know who she is.
Yeah, and I think the only person that actually advocate for like you to go to the comic store is James Gunn. Like whenever he did a movie, he would say, "Pick up the comic book and read it." So
Right.
I mean, her doing this is actually smart on her part because now she can get her demographic and a following as well. So I mean, kudos to her. I mean, I don't mind Kamala Khan. I think it's a good character actually. So I'm for it. I have nothing against this.
I have a lot of friends who are Kamala Khan.
At best, all that'll do is get somebody to check out the first issue. If the writing sucks and the story sucks, you're not gonna. You have to actually have a competent writer and a competent artist to keep the person interested in the comic. Like the best case scenario is okay. 10,000 or 20,000 people check out the first issue. They read the first issue and go, it's not that good. You guys are going under the assumption that, again, she said it herself, she's never written anything before in her life. She doesn't know what she's doing. So,
yeah, we know that.
Yeah, but long term, it's doomed to fail.
All she has to do is prompt the AI, ChatGPT, and then let the real editor, come in and fix it.
Yeah,
well,
but
isn't that the best way to do things?
You are wrong. All of you are wrong.
Really do that as it is.
You are wrong.
Is that how you feel when we all start fighting?
Oh, you mean me and Jade, the lightning round between me and Jade? That's the fights that we have.
Oh,
I just want everybody to be nice.
Oh, poor Nate.
I want everybody to keep fighting for all of eternity. All right.
Like, why does everybody hate each other?
I mean, Jade, when the verdict comes out, never mind.
Well, there's more things to fight about than just one little girl writing a comic book. Barbie-Heimer is a hit, according to AMC. They sold over 20,000 movie tickets to the opening. So
that's why. Okay, I didn't realize it was a double feature. That's why I was confused why it was always a combination whenever they spoke of it. Okay,
that's a long time to be sitting there. But the one thing that I want to point out real quick about these two movies is that these are the things that they have in common. They don't have superheroes. I don't consider Barbie a superhero. They don't have ongoing stories like a cinematic universe. They're not part of a multiverse saga type thing.
And they're made by competent people.
Wait a minute.
Comic book movies.
Except, Barbie has like a 60-year-old IP. Like, she's a recognizable brand name.
Yep.
I mean, that's a little unfair.
Yeah, and the other one definitely is to Japan,
The thing is that these movies are made for
A
a specific
mystical
thing. They're just made to be enjoyed as what they are. They're not,
Oh no,
nobody
yeah, I
really
see.
expects. Yeah. So this upcoming weekend is not about furthering a franchise or starting a trilogy of ending movies like Fast X or Mission Impossible, where they're only telling half a story for 2.5 hours and leaving you
Well,
wanting more. These are about going out, enjoying it for what it is, and then coming out of there and saying either, wow, I had a great time on side one, and on the other side going, oh my God, that is horrible. Let's stop these people from killing us. Because nuclear war is horrible. So,
But the thing is, do you not think that they'd want to make a franchise out of Barbie? Like, if she makes $800 million, do you not think they're gonna try and make a
Well,
franchise?
they're making a whole universe thing with their toy line.
absolutely.
Oh, they did it with Teresa too.
Absolutely. They,
Where's
you know,
Teresa?
Hasbro wants to make a Hasbro cinematic universe.
Yeah, they're even making an
yes,
8-ball
obviously
film.
the studios, the suits, they want to make.
Isn't that supposed to be a horror film?
I don't know.
No.
Is that what they're saying?
Horror film? Which one? The
8-ball.
What is 8-ball?
Yeah, just
Except,
just doing everything.
The Magic 8-Ball.
Magic 8-Ball, where you would ask it a question and it had like a little dice in it that would say yes, no, maybe, ask again later.
Yeah. To answer your question, Cole, try again later.
Hey, have you seen the meme where it's like the person shaking the magic 8-ball going, am I stupid? And then it looks at it and it's actually a bowling ball.
Is that supposed to... Oh, God.
Let's see here. Nate, you have a racist dog.
Does.
No.
That's what you think Rosales Barbie-verse is coming? If the suits have their way, I hope it dies in the theater.
Yeah.
Barbie is super, super hot.
Well, Margot Robbie is hot, but...
The nuke is pretty well known.
Yeah. I mean, how many tickets do you think it's going to sell in Japan?
No, but hold on, wait a
It's
minute.
all in yen.
If you're talking about Barbie, okay, the gravity-defying skills of her abilities are quite superhuman.
Yeah, again, supermodel does not equal superhero, though.
Right.
What are her superpowers?
The ability to stand
That is not a superhero.
the ability to stand straight without breaking her back.
Yeah.
That's
She created the universe
Super
in
hot
that
does
film,
not
though.
equal superpower, though.
No, she does have it. She created the universe in that film in the opening. They did a 2001: A Space Odyssey, all right? Superpowers.
You guys are drunker than I am then.
Maybe.
Yes. You're the only one who's sober.
I'm in favor of a female movie marketed towards females that is totally feminine. And I think that we don't get enough of this.
I want more video game movies.
Oh, if they're going to be like the Mario movie, then please no.
Yeah, please no.
Oh,
Yeah,
stop.
nobody has a successful video
Haters.
game that makes millions
Haters.
of dollars.
To haters.
Hey, I like
Hey,
the
listen-
Mario movie.
listen,
I'm talking about... I'm talking about shit
Mortal
like
Kombat
Uncharted.
movies- the recent Mortal Kombat movies were so good, right?
You're
Listen,
nothing
I'm
but a
not talking
Koopa
about-
sympathizer.
I'm not talking about. I just want a quality Star Fox.
Now we're changing the topic. First you're saying you want more video game movies. Now you're going, well, no, they got to be good, too.
Wow, really? You said quality and Star Fox. That's not a thing.
Did somebody say, speaking of switching the topic?
Yes,
Because we've
lightning
got
round.
another lightning round for you guys. This week's lightning round is brought to you by Cole. Cole, who loves his cat more than most women.
Oh, well, it's dead, but, you know.
That's gross. So this week, since we're talking about superheroes, we're going to figure out exactly who it was that was almost a hero. Because a lot of people go out and they audition for different roles, but we only know about the one who landed the role. So let's see if we can figure out who was almost a hero. Starting with Spider-Man Homecoming, we have 3 actors who quite possibly could have taken the role if they had won the audition. Would it have been Timothée Chalamet, Dane DeHaan or Nicholas Hoult? Let's start with
Dane DeHaan is my selection. Nicholas Hoult was already in a Marvel thing, so he's got his fill. Timothée Chalamet, he took Dune, right? So I guess he was willing to do some sort of... Okay, I changed my answer. Timothée Chalamet.
Nate, who do you think it was?
I'm gonna say Timothée Chalamet just because, he seems like he, in another universe, he could have played Peter Parker. Dane DeHaan was already a shitty ass Harry Osborn, and Nicholas Hoult, I think he's a little too old.
Warren?
I'm gonna go off ball. I'm gonna say Dane DeHaan. That's because he was in a previous Spider-Man movie, and he might have thought to play the main character. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. Timothée Chalamet just seems too obvious.
Yeah.
Cole, who do you think it is?
I mean, I don't know if it's fair for me to do some of these because I did search it up to help
Just
you out.
answer the damn question,
Okay,
please.
okay. I will say that I don't know this answer, but I will just go with Timothée Chalamet, even if it's the obvious answer. Because if this was the 2012 or so Spider-Man, I would say Dane DeHaan. But since it was after that, I don't believe it.
Did I lose everybody, or
No?
We hear you.
No, we hear
okay?
you.
Because I couldn't hear his reasoning behind it. But let's go to Jaded.
Well, since they eventually went with Tom Holland, they're not really looking for a good actor, so they would probably pick Timothée Chalamet.
Miss 1776.
I was too busy laughing at Chillmonger's comment, so go ahead and skip me. I don't remember what the question was.
Which one of these guys do you think lost the role of Spider-Man?
Lost
But
it?
Almost got it. But almost
I don't know.
got
Whoever's youngest. Timothy. Not that name. The Timothy dude.
WZ says Holt for me. Walter says Dane. Nicola Holt is too tall.
So was Hugh Jackman.
Holt,
That didn't
probably.
help him.
Timmy. Dane is too evil looking. Dane played that god-awful abomination Harry Osborn in Amazing Spider-Man. And gotta be Timothy. He looks the part. And the answer is Timothée Chalamet.
We got it. Good job, boys.
He
And
auditioned
that would have been
for
a
the
better
role
film.
and eventually was passed over. So
Yeah.
When talking about Spider-Man, when in doubt, just go with the worst actor. That's what they'll pick.
there we go. Now, in Captain America, the first Avenger, who could it have been that could have possibly have been Captain America? We have John Krasinski, Taron Egerton, or Edgerton, depending on if you have a lisp, Wyatt Russell.
Pass because I know the answer.
I'll say Wyatt Russell, just for the hell of it.
Okay.
Because I really don't know.
I think I know the answer, so I'll pass too. Well, actually, no. It's Wyatt. I mean Wyatt Russell, because he got the role as U.S. agent, so it's just obvious.
Jaded?
Yeah, I have to go with that. I was gonna say Wyatt Russell, but after Warren's, that was a really good point. I'll go with Wyatt Russell.
Miss 1776.
I'm gonna go with John Krasinski.
Krasinski.
Oh, you just think he's dazzling, huh?
Yeah, it's his jaw, right? It's okay.
I think he looks like Captain America, so I'm trying to look at the characters who also look like the character.
Well, Nico agrees with you.
Yeah,
Bri, welcome.
I won't
He
say
agrees
the
with you.
answer because I know it.
Michael says Wyatt, and A Base Life. I know the answer, and thank Christ.
Agreed.
Do it.
Agreed.
Walter says Russell, and the answer is.
Thank God.
Really?
Holy
John
shit!
Krasinski.
Wow.
Almost.
I would have not have called that. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, he was a very interesting choice.
Would have been a terrible choice.
Again,
Well, hold on.
Well-
Wasn't Jensen Ackles also approached at some point? I
Yeah.
thought I read that somewhere.
He wanted to do it. They passed him over for it, and then he got to do it in with the boys.
Oh yeah. I mean, perfect.
Let's see. Now in Logan, they were looking for somebody to play what's that, X-23?
Yeah.
So who do you think was auditioning for this role? Was it Angourie Rice, Mackenzie Foy, or Millie Bobby Brown?
Let's go. She was a Latina, so I'm going with my girl Angoria Rice, who I didn't know existed until today. See, Millie Bobby Brown was discovered for Netflix. Angoria Rice.
Okay. Nate?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Goria Rice too. Mackenzie Foy was a little too old. Well, she was a little older at the time, and I don't know where anybody got Millie Bobby Brown from. So yeah, Angoria Rice.
Warren?
I've been off on all of these, huh? So I might as well keep the streak going. Millie Bobby Brown.
Okay. Cole?
Yeah, definitely one I don't know. I feel like Foy would be too easy of a choice, and I don't see her in the role. I don't really know who Rice is. I'll just go with Millie Bobby Brown.
Okay. Jaded?
I was gonna go with Mackenzie Foy, like straight off the bat.
Okay. Miss 1776? Who
Yeah,
do
I'm
you
gonna
like
go
in the
with-
role?
I'm gonna go with Mackenzie Foy.
Okay. Let's see here. We got WZ says the middle one because she's pretty.
Because she's pretty.
Probably Millie Bobby Brown. She was in everything. A Millie. We got another Mackenzie Foy and another Millie. And the answer is Millie Bobby
Wow.
Brown.
Oh, shit.
She auditioned for the role. She lobbied for it really, really
Okay.
hard. And was very upset that she didn't get the role. And then when she saw the movie and saw who they picked for it, was very, very glad that they chose the girl because she did a fantastic
Yeah.
job in her eyes.
She did.
So,
Yeah, I will say though, she kind of looks the part though for the role as well.
yeah, I mean, but she comes off as more bratty than moody. So,
All right,
Drax
1
the
for 3.
Destroyer, the very first Drax the Destroyer in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Some people tried out for the role. Which one do you think is the one who almost got it? Michael Jai White, excuse me. Vin Diesel, excuse me. Jason Momoa.
Probably Vin Diesel. Like, yo, you're already here. We'll just make you Groots. It was
Right.
Vin.
Yeah, it's got to be Vin. How could it not be?
Warren?
For diversity inclusion, I'm gonna say Michael J. O. White.
Just for
Not
that
Vin Diesel?
reason?
You know Vin Diesel's black, right?
Within blood, yes.
Cole.
I know James Gunn usually has his mindset already on some castings, so I don't think he would do that with Vin Diesel if he misses out on it. So I'm not going to go with him. I'm just going to go with the one where I guess Jason Momoa, just because I never really heard Michael J. White's name floating around, but I never looked into this much though. So
Jaded, where are you at on this one?
As much as I hate wrestlers being actors, I definitely preferred Batista over what Vin Diesel would have done. So I pray to God it wasn't Vin Diesel. I'm gonna have to go with Jason Momoa because he's built bigger to fit the role more.
He is a unit of a man. I mean, shit.
Because again, what they were
1976.
doing with Drax, they were more going for, does he actually fit the body type? So I would say Jason Momoa fits the body type more.
Miss 1776.
Oh, I'm going with Jason Momoa. I mean, but it could be any question. You could be asking me, oh, who was going to be Little Riding Hood. And if you had Jason Momoa's picture, I'm picking Jason Momoa. So it is what it is.
That is disturbing to think about that, though.
I don't blame her though. I mean, Jason Momoa, come on.
Yeah, see?
So Walter says Jim Halper was up for Captain America. I didn't know that. That wasn't in my research, but you learn something new every day. Nico says Vin. Bryce says Vin. Walter says Vin.
No, I don't want to see that ever.
Yes, I have, unfortunately.
Oh, so yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Michael's going to go with Jason Momoa.
Michael.
And oh, by the way, in that video where he does the breakdancing, his acting skill has never improved from that.
White would actually be the best in terms of the background. So the answer is.
Oh,
Jason
shit.
Momoa.
Very good.
Jason Momoa went out for the role. He was didn't finish negotiations on that because once he got the script, he thought it was too similar to roles he'd had before, so he backed out.
Like Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, at that time. So he was almost Drax the Destroyer.
Oh, luckily he got to be Aquaman instead. So.
Absolutely. And this one, I think this is our final one, goes back a long ways. The original Supergirl movie, done after the success of the Superman film.
I have no idea on this one.
And upcoming actresses at the time went out for the role. So who was almost Supergirl? Was it Diane Lane, who wound up being Ma Kent? Was it Brooke Shields, who wound up being... she was somebody. Jessica Starr or something like that. It was some other comic book movie that she wound up doing. Or Michelle Pfeiffer, who wound up being Catwoman.
I would know if it was Diane Lane, so it's Brooke Shields.
Nate?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Warren?
I'm just going to say Diane Lane just because I like to go for the obvious.
Okay.
Oh.
Warren?
I mean, we saw recently Michelle Pfeiffer in Quantumania, and she still looks pretty damn good for her age, so I would go with her. She's still, Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, come on. Like, look at that. Like,
Ooh, all three answers.
Cole?
And I feel like Pfeiffer would be too obvious of an answer, and I'm pretty sure I know the other didn't. I didn't know, they tried pushing Brooke Shields around that time and a lot of stuff before, so I'm going to have to go with her.
Jaded?
Around that time frame, Brooke Shields was like the hottest thing there, so I would have assumed that they would have gone with her for just the name recognition.
Miss 1776?
No, I'm going with Michelle Pfeiffer.
You're going with Michelle Pfeiffer. Okay.
Good answer.
So the answer is Brooke Shields.
Yeah, I got
Brooke
one.
Shields was almost Supergirl, but instead they decided to cut some money, save some money, and go with an unknown actress at the time who is
Always the good decision.
Unknown.
Always the right thing to do.
Especially with how terrible it was.
This is a bonus answer without questions. So, and I bring this up just for Chillmonger. Jimon, how do you murdering names today?
Hansu.
That guy, and Anthony Mackie almost played T'Challa.
That guy.
The truth is, Jimon Hansu voiced T'Challa, so it's only Anthony who almost played him.
Ooh, see there, look at that.
So they must
Everybody's
like
learning
Darth
more
Vader
and
thing
more.
where someone else voiced it while the other person acted it?
No, it was for a cartoon, separate than the movie.
Okay.
So that's all we got for the lightning round, guys.
Interesting.
I know Will Smith almost played Captain America.
No, he didn't. They let him think that. They let him audition.
Kind of fucking multiverse are we living in?
The one where Shuri gets to be Black Panther.
You know, it's like everybody who auditions for James Gunn. You think you got a shot, you almost got a shot, but he's going to hire who he wants to hire.
Yeah, especially if you're Nicholas Holt, you know.
Yeah.
Wait, he hired Nicholas Holt?
No.
Like James Gunn knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I do hope he gets the Lex Luthor role, though.
Oh, Nicholas Holt? Wait. So Nicholas Holt is up for Lex Luthor?
Well, I hope, but I don't see
he's
it.
going to look so ugly bald. I hope they don't do that.
Whoa, what's that supposed to mean?
What do you mean? He looks the character bald. He looks the character bald.
It's like a part in King of the Hill where they said, "Oh, you're bald and not an attractive bald like Sean Connery." Nicholas Holt will not be an attractive bald. Warren, you are attractive.
He's supposed to be attractive.
You guys are going to be so surprised when he turns out being Metallo.
Yeah, or like Booster Gold.
Luthor is too obvious a choice to be bringing up this early in the thing. So it's better to show off Luthor by the things that he does and not by himself saying, "I'm going to do things." So if Nicholas Holt is in this as the main villain, he's going to be Metallo, and the kryptonite in his chest is going to be put there by Luthor, who you'll find out is there, but not cast, if you know what I mean. So
Right.
I think that's probably the route they're going to be going. Bold people are uglier, but more aerodynamic. So are bald people.
Warren smiling.
Yeah, what's wrong with bald people? God
There's
damn it.
nothing wrong with bald people. I'm just saying Nicholas Holt is ugly bald. He already
But
looks bad
he
with his hair
looks like
receding.
Lex Luthor bald.
Who was that guy who played in the Smallville series? Who played Lex Luthor in the Smallville series?
He's not supposed to look that pretty.
Well, that guy was pretty.
Thanos
I
was
liked that
bald.
pretty. Yeah, and he was ugly.
Thanos was CG.
He's so ugly. Does it change it?
Drax was bald.
Grimace wasn't a real
CG.
person.
Drax was CG.
Wait, Grimace? Like from McDonald's?
I'm calling Thanos Grimace.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Well, guys, that's all we got for this week. There's probably a whole lot more happening this coming week, so we'll have new and exciting things going on. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for everybody who showed up. Cole, thanks for showing up.
Thanks.
1776.
Yeah.
I know you were having a hangover of a day. Appreciate you showing up. And I think we're going to go ahead and end this off with something that we started the program with, but didn't get to see a whole lot of. So maybe Johnny Cash will sing us out one more time.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Oh, come on, Barbie, let's go party.